And what is going on, everybody? My name, of course, is Too Cool Tech here, and we're bringing you another great episode with some awesome products. Alright, so we're kicking it back into the gaming section of things again, and we're going to start with monitors today. Now, before we get into that, last video I actually had like a web camera on and everything. We're actually probably just going to stick to gameplay videos because I can be a lot more concise and I don't have to, keep redoing stuff and making sure I talk correctly, because I can just be looking at my screen, looking at the specs, and looking at, my script that I wrote down, and it's a lot easier that way, so we're going to stick to that. Anyways, these are going to be the monitors that I recommend for you guys, and I'm going to order them accordingly. So since these are gaming monitors, we're going to be focusing on quality, refresh rate, and price. Now, I'm not going to be listing the model number of each one because they're so different. What I recommend is if you like the one that you see in this video, just click the link, go to Amazon, and make sure to save it in your cart so you don't accidentally forget it and then, try to search it and not remember the model number. Alright, so our first monitor is 1080p. This is the deal, alright? This is the best bang for your buck, 1080. This is an Acer 24-inch Full HD 3D LED monitor. Alright, now this is a refurbished monitor, but I've purchased refurbished things before. I've really had no huge issue with refurbished issues ever. And alright, so this one is 3D Full HD. It's got 144 Hz refresh rate. So if you don't know what a refresh rate is, I would hope you do if you're a gamer. But if you don't know what a refresh rate is, basically the amount of frames that can be displayed on your screen. And most monitors are about 60 Hz. So it's about 60 Hz refresh rate. This one's 144, and it's definitely noticeable for those people that actually have or have experienced it, like myself. It is a luxury to have, in my opinion. I love high-end refresh rate monitors, so we're definitely going to try to stick to that in this list. So this is the best bang for your buck, coming in at $154 for a Full HD 1080p 144 Hz refresh rate monitor. You can't go wrong. Now we're getting into the best, and this is the best, the most expensive and the best 1080p monitor. Alright, this is going to be the ASUS Full HD 144 Hz 1 millisecond response time monitor. Now there's a variant of a 27-inch, but for the 24-inch it's $280. So it's definitely looking up there, but this has got ultra smooth action, 144 Hz. The monitor itself can rotate and flip. It's got ASUS Game Plus, which is some kind of optimization that the monitor's included with it. That 144 Hz, 1 millisecond response time, which is, to me, very important. I mean, I haven't really seen a huge difference between 1 and 5, but 1 personally, I go big or go home, in my opinion. So that is the top end one. This one, like I said, is coming in at $280. Now, moving on to the next one. This is going to be below 200, but still, relatively awesome gaming monitor for 1080p. This is the Asus 24-inch Full HD. This one supports FreeSync. It's got a 1 millisecond response time, 75 Hz. So this one is kind of, if you're not really huge into the Hertz, but you've had a 60 Hz monitor, you don't really care to notice a difference or anything. 75 Hz is still gonna do a little bit of good justice there. It's got dual HDMI, low blue light. Now I believe all these monitors are matte coating as well. This one's coming in at $182. But like I said, this is also going to be a really good best bang for your buck, especially if you're not really worried about refresh rates. I definitely take a look at it. It's got a bunch of other features that our first monitor didn't have. Alright, so coming in our next bracket of monitors, we're going to be looking at 1440p monitors. Now, if you don't know the difference between 1080p and 1440p, just think double the pixels. All compressed in the same 27-inch monitor, at least 27-inch for my gaming experience. I love 27-inch, and that's the monitor we're going to be recommending. Alright, this is the AOC Agon 27-inch gaming monitor, 2560 by 1440p resolution. Now it's 144 Hz with that 1 millisecond response plate. It supports VGA, DVI, DisplayPort, and HDMI, but of course, to get that 144 Hz, it's just that DVI or that DisplayPort with a 16:9 aspect ratio and a 50,000,000:1 contrast ratio. It gets really good brightness, has a matte screen as well. The design looks nice and sleek. This is the 27-inch FreeSync version, or you can get the G-Sync version for a little bit more, but this one's currently going for $489, so about 500 bucks. So it's definitely a lot, but if you're looking towards that 1440p gaming, this is going to be the best bang for your buck, especially considering the other ones that we're about to get into, especially for these 1440p monitors. So this one, I'd recommend taking a look at first. Now our next monitor on the 1440p list is the best monitor, right? This is best category. This is going to be the ASUS 1 millisecond 165 hertz G-Sync with the iCare gaming. It's just got a lot of crazy features. Obviously it's Asus, a reputable brand. 165 hertz instead of 144, so we're actually upping it. I don't really know if I wouldn't know if there's a huge difference there. 1 millisecond of response time. It's got DisplayPort 1.2, HDMI 1.4, and USB 3.0 ports, so you can actually just charge stuff from your monitor if you really wanted to. However, on this monitor, the only thing you'd be charging is the shit out of your credit card, because this is currently coming in at about $700. So, I mean, if you got money for days, then $700 is gonna be nothing. But this is the monitor for 1440p. This is the messiah of 1440p gaming, let's say. Alright, let's switch to the other end. People that might not be able to afford 1440p gaming, but still, you know, want to see if there's a good deal out there for that 1440p gaming. Yes, there is. This is the Acer smidpx 25-inch WQHD is like I said, 1440p, 2560 by 1440p widescreen monitor. I mean, it looks kind of nice, to be honest, for $254. That's right, $254 for a 1440p. It's got a decent, you know, amount of reviews on it. Lots of reviews. It's got 4 out of 5 star ratings, so it's doing something right. There's a variance for the 27-inch as well, but we're looking at the 25-inch just to save you that money. Now, this has got a 4 millisecond response time, and I'm unclear of the refresh rate, so I'm going to guess that it's about 60. I'm just gonna assume that it's about 60 since they didn't list it. Normally, when refresh rates are high, people like to list it because it's kind of like a luxury thing. I really doubt for this price that it's going to have a higher end refresh rate than 60. But, I mean, if you want 1440p gaming, don't give it a hoot about the refresh rate. This is definitely the monitor to look towards, especially if you're trying to save some money. So that wraps up our 1440p category. Now, we have 2 monitors on the higher end category. This is for people that, you know, go big or go home. This is the 4K or the ultra-wide category. So only one for 4K and one for ultra-wide that I would recommend. So, starting off with the 4K gaming. This is going to be Samsung, actually. Samsung 28-inch UHD LED-Lit Monitor. It's got FreeSync support, 1 millisecond response time. Now this one's got a 60 hertz refresh rate, so I mean if you're huge into FPSs and stuff and you want to get that 4K experience, I wouldn't recommend this monitor to you if you really want, you know, smooth gameplay. I mean obviously it's going to be smooth at 60 FPS and 60 hertz, but if you want like super liquid smooth at 144 hertz, you already know the deal. This probably won't be the monitor for you. You'd probably have to look for even a more higher end, more expensive one. But if it's somebody, you know, that is a graphic designer, somebody that's into, you know, a lot of, you know, detail-oriented work, this is definitely going to be the monitor for you, especially at the price point of just $369. And that's for a 4K UHD 28-inch. That's a really good deal in my opinion. And there's a 24-inch variant for just $300. But obviously, if we're doing 4K, I want to go to the biggest screen possible that's available to a monitor. So that's the 4K monitor that I'd recommend. And now we're getting into ultra-wide. Ultra-wide monitors. I've taken a look into ultra-wide. I personally kind of want to get an ultra-wide, but I don't know. I might think about it. So, ultra-wide that I would be getting, and I would recommend to anybody, is the LG 34-inch 21:9 curved ultra-wide IPS gaming monitor. This one's got a 144 hertz refresh rate, AMD FreeSync technology, 1 millisecond motion blur reduction response time, and 144 hertz refresh rate. Like I said, absolutely beast of a machine. It took me a little bit to find this one, however, it's got amazing customer feedback, 4.5 out of 5 stars. However, the price is coming in at $824. However, this is a luxury item, guys. This is an ultra-wide monitor with the best refresh rate. Now, if you look at other ultra-wides, they can run you anywhere to 1,000 minimum and up. So this one is definitely going to be one of the best bang for your bucks, especially with that refresh rate. Really nice quality on an IPS display, 144 hertz, like I said, that 1 millisecond refresh, so there's going to be no ghosting or anything like that. Definitely the monitor I would recommend if you're looking towards that ultra-wide category. So like I said, guys, if you enjoyed any of the monitors here, make sure to look in the description to find the link for that and just save it to your cart. So, I mean, I don't know if you just can drop $800 on your favorite monitor, but if you were going to do it in the future, I would save it to your cart so you can have that available and be ready to purchase it and not have to try to look for it based on what I had said. So that wraps up today's video on my favorite monitors. I hope you guys enjoyed this style of video. I believe I'm going to continue to do this. I hope you enjoyed the categories that I put these monitors in just for your convenience. And other than that, I hope you guys choose the best monitor for your viewing pleasure, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.